Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing on with this series, Stages of Reunion, and today is part 3, First Meeting. So the first meeting can be a very nerve-wracking time. Everybody's on edge because this is the first time you're meeting your adult child. And it's so weird to actually go through this stage. When I met my daughter, it was 11 months after our first contact. And during that 11-month period, we took a lot of time to get to know each other and everything that had to do with the adoption, as well as some of our likes and dislikes. And we decided that we were comfortable with growing our relationship and seeing where it leads. So one thing to think about when you're going into this stage is, will you hug or not? This is a personal decision. It's not something I necessarily thought about too much, but I knew that I wasn't going to push it. Like, I wasn't going to reach out. If she went in for a hug, I would have gone in for a hug. But I don't, I'm not a big hugger anyways, but, so if it's desirable, then you go for it. I would actually talk about it. If I had known that it was a thing, I would have asked her, hey, do you want to do a hug or no? And because I'm pretty good with asking questions and she's pretty good with answering them. Like, I'm not afraid or anything like that. So it's pretty easy for us to communicate, and hopefully it will be for you too. So I would ask that question. Another thing to think about is where to meet. Honestly, it should be on neutral ground when you first meet in person. Something like a diner or a coffee shop, somewhere where there's other people so that you have that distraction, as well as an ambiance so that you can have something to talk about, like, ooh, look at that picture over there, or yum, look at this menu. Do you like, ham and cheese? The ham and cheese here is great. I don't know, something like that. So but you would have something that would give you a little, communication, because the first meeting is super weird and you tend to lose the ability to talk. Now, I did not follow my own advice when I met my daughter. I actually met her at her house because I was also meeting her parents for the first time. And if you watched my reunion video, I did mention that I did not get to meet her parents when I gave her up. That was something the church took away from me. So I had never met them, and this was my first opportunity to meet them too. And I was kind of okay with it. I was kind of like, okay, they might want to make sure that I'm not crazy either. And they probably wanted to meet me too. I mean, who knows? Anyways, but I also was a career bartender for 25 years. So me talking to strangers is absolutely comfortable for me. I have no problem doing it. I don't feel like I'm in an awkward situation. I mean, it was awkward and my nerves were, on high alert, but that's because I was meeting my daughter. I mean, that's a little different than, going up to a table and saying, hi, I'm Kat and I'll be your server. What can I get for you today? But still, I was comfortable in going into a unfamiliar place because I wanted her to be comfortable. So, like I said, during this meeting, your nerves are on high and a lot of things will be overwhelming. You may end up freezing and not having anything to talk about. And like I said, then it's good that you're in some type of place where you can just like pick out something and start talking again. Or you may have diarrhea of the mouth and just can't shut up and give a lot of information and everything, which I also would say to err on the side of caution for that. You don't want to give up too much information and be overwhelming with it. With that said, because it's a whirlwind of a day and an experience, I would bring a pen and a piece of paper or a little pad or something to take any notes, because I guarantee you, you will forget things that happened. And make sure you take pictures on the first day, as well as bring pictures. Birth moms should bring pictures of youth and everything, and family members and everything. And then adoptees should bring pictures of them growing up, because I know I wanted to see my daughter as she grew up, and I love to look at pictures of her when she's little, because it finally gives me an idea of what she looked like and who she was from birth to 28, because I had no idea. I know my daughter as an infant, and I know my daughter as an adult. I have nothing in between. So it's really nice to see pictures of her as a toddler, and as a 5-year-old, and as a 7-year-old, and an 11-year-old, and just doing things, that you would do during that time. And if you really struggle with things like that, I'm going to give you a shameless plug right here. I wrote this guided journal. It's available on Amazon, and what it is it is a guided journal of facts for birth mothers and adoptees. I wrote it with reunion in mind, although you can use it if you are in the process of relinquishing and to leave the baby with something. It's like I said, it's available on Amazon. The link is below, but let me show you this is the table of contents. So I divided it up into a few sections, and there's medical and health, and that entails everything from, is there balding in the family, or, like menopause, like what were your symptoms? Because women want to know, you can't just go off of anything. Things are hereditary. So there's all types of things. Did you wear glasses? Did you wear braces? And for how long? What was the reason? And that type of thing. So there's medical history section in here. Then there's a search and reunion. Why did you search? How did you search? What were your steps? Just to give an idea of the process that one went through. Then there's a section for the adoptees only, and this is basically the adoptee story for the birth mother, and it entails things like, did you have a good childhood, and what did you do, how were your holidays, so that we can have a picture of it. And then on the other side of the coin, the part for the birth mothers is so that the adoptee can have an idea of the birth mother's story. How did you get pregnant? What was the story with that? What about my birth father? What about the adoption? How did you come to that decision? And then lastly, the majority of the book is all about me, which is the title. And it entails, it's really conversation starters, and it's also really digging deep and getting to know somebody. What's your favorite food? Do you like skiing or swimming better? Are you a mountain person or a beach person? What instrument did you play in school? Do you still play an instrument? Do you sing? What's your favorite food? All that kind of stuff. So many different types of questions, and it's all lined paper, and everything's in there for you, so that you can just hand it off to one another, and you can complete it for each other, so that you guys have, something to, maybe a conversation starter, and just to get to know you type of thing. So that is my shameless plug for my book. And with that said, I'm going to end this section right here. This part is number 4, the first meeting. And in the next part, we are going to be going over the honeymoon and after the honeymoon. Okay? So thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.